Hey there, Steven here from Crystal Tractor and Equipment, and look at all the equipment I've got out here with me right now. That's because I want to talk to you about one of the best features you can get for your tractor. That's going to be the Universal Quick Connect, or you might know it by Skid Steer Quick Connect or 2-lever Quick Attach. Either way, it's a fantastic feature because of what it means for how you're able to use your tractor once you get it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the features of Quick Connect and see how it's going to help you out. Now, if you've used a tractor at all anytime in recent years that's been equipped with a loader, you're probably already familiar with Skid Steer Quick Connect. But if you're new to tractors, then hopefully this video will help you learn a little bit about how to use your front end implements. Now, what makes Quick Connect so useful is if you think about rear end implements, where we've had the 3-point standard for many decades now. What Quick Connect does is it brings a universal Quick Connect standard to your front loader. Whereas it used to be you would have to use a pin-on system, and that was unique to each loader that you might encounter on any different tractor. So you had very specific implements for very specific tractors. With Quick Connect, if you take a look here at all the equipment I have down this line, you'll notice one thing in common, or two, depending on how you look at it, and that's going to be these two handles right here. That is your Skid Steer Quick Connect. Now, the way the Quick Attach system works with these two handles here is by having each one of them connected to a locking drop pin here at the bottom of the front implement. So if we take a look down here at this hole, you can see when I pull this lever up, the pin rises up out of that retainer hole, and now the implement is technically free on this side. And if I go ahead and raise the other side as well, I'm no longer attached at the bottom of the implement. So I can actually rock this bucket back and forth here on the top carrier because I'm not attached anymore at the bottom. When I lock these levers back in place, that actually pushes the pins back down into the retaining hole, and now my implement is not going to go anywhere. Now, the second half of the process occurs after I've already pulled the handles up and released the locking pins. I want to go ahead and lower my implement down on level ground. So let's drop it down here. And once I get it down, all I need to do now is move the loader forward in a curl motion, like we're going to curl the implement forward or down. And that's going to push it forward away from the rear of our carrier, and it drops right out. Now we curl it back. We can pick up our loader and move right on out of the way. Now at this point, when I'm ready to reconnect to a new front end attachment or back to my bucket, whatever the case may be, all we have to do is reverse the process. So what I'm going to do now is drive forward into the implement, make sure I'm lined up within the outside edges of the tool carrier and the front end attachment. Then I'm going to lift up, I'm going to curl back, and then lock my pins in place. So let's take a look. And now I've got pallet forks on my tractor, and they're not going to go anywhere, fully secured. So now the reason they call it Skid Steer Quick Attach is because this style of attachment was actually popularized with skid steer loaders like this Takeuchi TL12 here. Now, this particular model does have a hydraulic attach system, so we don't have the manual handles, but the connection points at the actual tool carrier and the bucket attachment itself are going to be exactly the same. And that means we can actually have a little bit of fun here with all these pieces of equipment, because now I can actually switch my bucket from my smallest tractor to my biggest one, from my skid steer to my smallest tractor, or my bucket from my largest tractor onto my smallest. So let's have a little bit of fun and see what kind of shenanigans we can come up with here. Now I think that's a pretty silly looking sight right there, but it really helps demonstrate just how universal skid steer quick connect or 2-lever quick connect is. Now you always want to be sure that you're not overloading your loader. Just because the connection system is universal doesn't mean that your loader's capabilities are. So always make sure you consult with your equipment manufacturer and make sure you're not putting any attachments or any loads on the front of your loader that can cause your loader to fail or your tractor to tip. Now here at Crystal, because we understand just how useful it is for customers to be able to switch to different implements, we only order tractors with 2-lever quick coupler attached to our loaders. Now, that means that you'll be able to switch to a variety of different implements without being stuck on a specific implement for your tractor or your brand. Whether you're using orange or red or anything in between, you'll be able to find the implement that works for you. And here at Crystal, not only do we have those tractors, we also have those implements and tons of different attachments for your front loader and your tractor or your skid steer. So feel free to give us a call or visit us here at crystaltractor.com. We're happy to help in any way we can.